What is up, Shady Spotlight fam? Get ready to dive headfirst into the news cycle because things are absolutely wild out there. From unexpected statements that are shaking up industries to major public figures facing intense scrutiny, we've got it all. The pace of information is relentless, and if you're not plugged in, you're missing out. Today, we're breaking down the moments that have everyone talking, bringing you the inside scoop and the unfiltered truth you crave. You're about to get the unmissable updates, the hot takes, and the full story behind the headlines that matter. Stick around because you won't want to miss a single second of this. Let's get into it. First up, a legendary artist drops a bombshell statement about a beloved animated film, sparking a massive debate that's reaching all the way to the sports arena. We're talking about a comment that's got people questioning entertainment choices and cultural values. What did he say, and why is it causing such a stir? We'll break it all down. Then, we're heading down under where a prominent political figure is calling for major changes in the world of sports entertainment, targeting a global icon. This isn't just about one booking, it's about who gets a platform and why. Get ready for some serious back and forth as we explore the controversy. And that's just the beginning. We've got more surprising developments that will keep you on the edge of your seat. So buckle up, hit that like button, subscribe for your daily dose of the truth, and ring that notification bell so you never miss an update. Let's go. So buckle up, hit that like button, subscribe for your daily dose of the truth, and ring that notification bell so you never miss an update. Let's go. A hip-hop legend's movie musings spark outrage. A comment made by a globally recognized music icon has ignited a firestorm of debate, sending ripples through both the entertainment and sports worlds. The artist, known for his distinctive style and prolific career, recently shared his candid thoughts on a popular animated film, specifically addressing its inclusion of LGBTQ+ representation. His remarks, made during a podcast appearance, have been interpreted by many as a critique of modern storytelling in children's media, leaving audiences and critics alike divided. The core of his statement revolved around his experience watching the film with his grandson, where a depiction of a same-sex couple led to a question from the child that the artist felt unprepared to answer. He expressed a sense of being caught off guard, stating, "I didn't come here for this shit. I just came to watch the goddamn movie." This sentiment was further amplified by his admission of feeling scared to go to the movies now, suggesting that such content has made him apprehensive about future viewing experiences. The artist elaborated, indicating that he felt thrust into a teaching moment for which he lacked a prepared response, questioning the appropriateness of such themes for young audiences without adequate context or guidance. This perspective has, predictably, drawn sharp criticism from various quarters. Many have accused the artist of homophobia and of failing to embrace the importance of diverse representation in media, arguing that explaining same-sex relationships, including concepts like adoption, is a straightforward matter that promotes understanding and inclusivity. The controversy is further contextualized by the film itself, which had previously faced its own challenges regarding LGBTQ+ content. A brief scene featuring a same-sex kiss was initially removed, only to be reinstated after significant backlash, including from LGBTQ+ employees within the studio. This decision ultimately led to the film being banned in numerous countries and contributed to discussions about its box office performance, with some media outlets attributing its perceived underperformance to its inclusive messaging. The artist's comments have thus tapped into a larger, ongoing cultural conversation about the role of LGBTQ+ themes in children's entertainment, highlighting the tension between increasing visibility and representation and the comfort levels of audiences and caregivers. While proponents of representation argue it fosters empathy and normalizes diversity, critics express concern about exposing children to complex social issues without appropriate parental mediation. The situation underscores a significant cultural divide, prompting widespread discussion about artistic freedom, parental responsibility, and the evolving landscape of media representation. But this isn't just about a movie review. The fallout is reaching far beyond Hollywood. Stay tuned as we uncover how these comments are now impacting a major sporting event, with calls for significant action being made. You won't want to miss this. Senator demands rapper's removal from major sporting event. A prominent Australian politician has ignited a significant controversy by calling for the immediate removal of a globally renowned hip-hop artist from a highly anticipated major sporting event. The artist, booked as the headline act for the pre-game entertainment at the 2025 AFL Grand Final, has found himself at the center of a political storm following remarks made by Greens Senator Sarah Hanson-Young. The senator, in a fiery address to the Senate, branded the rapper a slur merchant and questioned the substantial investment of $2 million in an international act, arguing that Australian talent should be prioritized. She drew a stark parallel between the booking of the international artist and the suspension of an Australian rules football player, Isaac Rankine, who faced repercussions for using a homophobic slur. Hanson-Young highlighted what she perceived as a glaring inconsistency in the Australian Football League's AFL commitment to conduct standards, questioning why a player would be penalized for such language while a celebrated artist, whose past remarks have been deemed problematic, is being paid a significant sum to perform. The senator's criticism is largely rooted in the artist's recent public comments regarding LGBTQ+ representation in children's media, specifically referencing Pixar's animated film, Lightyear. The artist had expressed his discomfort with depicting same-sex relationships in a way that he felt unprepared to explain to his young grandson, stating he felt scared to go to the movies due to such content. Hanson-Young argued that the AFL, as a significant cultural institution, has a responsibility to support and promote homegrown artists, asserting that if it's an Aussie game, it's an Aussie artist playing. She emphasized the need for investment in the Australian music industry and expressed concern over the potential message sent by prioritizing an international artist with a history of controversial statements over local talent. In defense of the booking, AFL CEO Andrew Dillon stated that the organization cannot meticulously scrutinize every lyric of every performer. He defended the decision by highlighting the artist's current status as a grandfather, philanthropist. He helps rehabilitate youth and is a global entertainer, who has previously performed at prestigious events like the Super Bowl and the Olympic closing ceremony. Dillon stressed that the AFL engaged the artist as the person he is today, implying a belief in his personal growth and evolution. He assured that the grand final entertainment would remain family-friendly and appropriate for the audience. This controversy reflects deeper societal discussions about inclusivity, representation, and the values projected by major sporting codes. Critics are questioning whether the AFL's choice aligns with its stated commitment to fostering an inclusive and respectful environment, particularly in light of the artist's recent public statements and the senator's strong opposition. This clash of opinions highlights a critical debate about cultural values and public platforms. But what happens when these discussions spill over into everyday life, affecting how we connect with our communities? We're about to find out. Artists' views on kids' media spark controversy and debate. A widely recognized music artist has recently come under fire for expressing his discomfort with the inclusion of LGBTQ+ themes in children's entertainment, specifically citing the Pixar film, Lightyear, as a prime example. During a recent podcast appearance, the artist recounted an experience where he felt ill-equipped to address his grandson's questions about a same-sex couple depicted in the movie. He described being taken aback when his grandson asked how two women could have a child together, admitting that the situation left him feeling unprepared and, in his words, scared to go to the movies. His remarks quickly generated a strong reaction across social media, with many users criticizing his comments as homophobic and expressing disappointment in his apparent reluctance to discuss or explain same-sex parenting, which many pointed out can be addressed through concepts such as adoption. This situation is compounded by the film Lightyear itself, which had already been a focal point for discussions surrounding LGBTQ+ representation. The movie initially faced controversy when a scene featuring a same-sex kiss was reportedly cut, leading to protests from LGBTQ+ employees. The studio eventually reinstated the scene prior to the film's release. The film subsequently encountered bans in over a dozen countries due to its LGBTQ content, and its pro-LGBTQ stance was widely blamed for its underwhelming opening weekend performance, despite the fact that the film's narrative focus on Buzz Lightyear's origins might have been a more significant factor in its reception. The artist's commentary has brought to the forefront an ongoing cultural conversation about the presence and portrayal of LGBTQ themes in children's media. This debate involves balancing the importance of visibility and representation with the varying comfort levels of audiences and caregivers. While advocates for increased representation argue that it fosters understanding and inclusivity among young viewers, others, like the artist in question, express concern that such content can be confusing or disorienting for children if not presented with appropriate context or parental guidance. The artist's statements have thus become a flashpoint in this broader cultural discourse, highlighting differing perspectives on how to introduce and discuss diverse family structures and identities in a way that is accessible and comfortable for children and their guardians. These conversations about representation in media are vital, but they also intersect with broader societal shifts. Now, let's look at how these discussions are impacting real-world policies and community spaces. Artists' stance on LGBTQ representation draws criticism and scrutiny. A prominent figure in the music industry is increasingly drawing attention for what critics describe as a shift towards anti-LGBTQ sentiments, as evidenced by recent public statements. The artist, widely known for his influential career, appeared on the It's Giving podcast where he shared an anecdote that has since sparked considerable debate. During the conversation, he recounted a recent experience where he felt challenged by a question from his grandson concerning the movie Lightyear. The Pixar film features a lesbian character, Alicia Hawthorne, and the artist's grandson reportedly became confused about how she and her wife had a child together. The artist quoted his grandson asking, "Papa Snoop, how she have a baby with a woman? She a woman." He expressed his own difficulty in navigating this conversation, stating, "I didn't come here for this shit. I just came to watch the goddamn movie." According to the artist, he was unable to provide a satisfactory explanation to the toddler, opting instead to quiet him and encourage him to focus on his popcorn. The artist conveyed frustration at being placed in a position where he felt unprepared to address such topics, lamenting, "So it's like, FCK me, I'm scared to go to the movies now." He further elaborated on his unease, saying, "Like, y'all throwing me in the middle of shit that I don't have an answer for." He questioned the timing and manner of introducing such themes to young children, stating, "We have to show that at this age. Like they're going to ask questions, I don't have the answer." This sentiment echoes prior controversies surrounding Lightyear. The film faced backlash prior to its 2022 release due to its inclusion of a lesbian relationship, including a brief kiss scene that was initially cut but later reinstated following public outcry. This decision, however, led to the film being banned in several Middle Eastern and Asian countries, and its perceived pro-LGBTQ stance was widely cited as a reason for its underwhelming opening weekend performance. Social media reactions to the artist's stance have been largely critical, with many condemning his comments as homophobic and out of touch. The situation highlights a broader cultural tension surrounding the representation of LGBTQ individuals and themes in children's media, and how public figures engage with these sensitive topics. The artist's recent remarks have positioned him as a vocal critic of such portrayals, aligning him with a segment of the public that expresses concern over the early introduction of these themes to children. These conversations about representation are critical, but they also have broader implications for public spaces and community standards. Now, let's see how these discussions are impacting local communities and the visible symbols of inclusivity. And that's a wrap on today's rapid-fire rundown. We saw a hip-hop legend spark debate with his movie takes, a senator demand a superstar's removal from a major sporting event, and cultural conversations about representation continue to heat up. Make sure you're subscribed and hit that notification bell so you don't miss our next deep dive. Comment below with your thoughts on today's stories, follow us on all social platforms for more exclusive content, and we'll catch you in the next one.